got started a little late, so I'll go ahead and kind of get rolling. If you don't mind, the first 5 minutes, I'm just going to kind of revert back to yesterday with two more QD drills that I didn't get to just because of some of the time constraints and stuff. So I'll just go real quick, 5 minutes, because I wanted to cover that topic, and then after that, I'll kind of get into what I'm going to talk about today, which is our RPO stuff that we run in our spring game. With the uniform. So real quick, this one right here, we just call this, we call it unicorn drill. And what it is, the quarterback's right here in the pocket, he'll take a drop, and if I run straight by him, he'll slide up into the pocket. Okay? If I run straight by, he'll slide up. If he feels me cross his face, he will immediately sidestep and let the ball go. Okay, so and then the last part of it is, if I don't come at him right now, I'll freeze. Okay, hang on, I'll kind of talk about it as I go here. And this is one of our favorite drills. We do this every day. Okay, so that's a shoulder pull right there. If I freeze and come back, he knows, okay, I've got to set up. Coach is coming after his shoulder. And then right there, if I cross his face, notice what he does. Notice it's one step. Like I said over and over again yesterday, it's one step, ball's gone. So if I freeze, I come at him, I'll come at his shoulder. And he's taught that he's in the pocket. If I come at one shoulder, he'll just pull that shoulder, just in case of a wide rusher or anything, and he'll just pull that shoulder to continue to be a passer. And immediately, the next thing that should happen is that back foot should set, and he should go ball gone. Okay? This is the same thing, just a view from the other side. Like I said, I come straight past. He slides up in the pocket. If I go across, it's one step. He sets his foot, he lets it go, ball's gone. If I freeze, I'll come after his shoulder. He'll slip it real fast, reset his back foot, ball gone. So here I freeze, I'll come after his shoulder. And really what you want to try and do is just kind of pull that shoulder just slightly, right? You don't want to come all the way down. I think that last one came a little bit too far like that. All right? Real quick, we'll set 3 cones in front, and I'll just say 1, 2, 3, okay? And then I'll call that stuff out to him. So let's say he starts at 2, and I say 1, right? He's going 1. I say 2. It's 2, 3. Here, if I say 1, he's going to work all the way back to 1. Always moving his right foot first, and anytime I say up, he'll come up with it. Okay? And that's one thing you never want to see when you're doing these drills. Like if he's here at 2 and I say 3, you never ever want to see him go like that and then like that. Okay? It's called scissoring your feet. Alright? So you never want to see him go pop, pop to get to the next spot. It's an awkward move for a quarterback, but he needs to be disciplined enough that he's right in here. 3, that's the first thing that happens. And that's an awkward movement. This is a more natural, more comfortable movement. This is a little bit more awkward to get to a spot and get balance. Okay, so that's just 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then whenever I say up, he'll go up, come around the cone. So 2 there, 3. I don't like how he scissored his feet on that last one. And then ball, and we talked about yesterday. As soon as I say ball, boom, 3, ball, foot, boom. Okay? So what I'm going to talk about today first is, I'll show clips from both the internet, I'm sure it's all, is our RPO game. Okay, it's our run pass option. So, the main thing, obviously there's a lot of teams that do this in college, and that's kind of where we picked it up, study from them and learn from them. I'm probably the worst guy in this room to ask about like zone option or straight option, anything that really has got the quarterback, in the run game. The reason is because I've always had a pocket quarterback, right? Whether it's Marco or Chris Gross or my import quarterbacks before, I've always been a very pocket-oriented offense. But having said that, with RPOs and stuff, with a mobile quarterback, a lot of the stuff you see is zone reads. So bang, I'm getting it, and I'm reading defensive ends. Okay? Or some even, I'll read a 3 tech of what he's doing. If you're going to let him go and run something, a wham or something up inside. Okay? With us, what we try and do is we'll try and read backers or just rotation of coverages. And we will make decisions off that whether we're going to hand the ball off or throw pass routes. So really what's happening is we'll have a run play called in the box, we'll have screens or pass routes or both called to the receivers. Okay? So the quarterback walks up, there's no checks that need to be made, there's nothing that needs to be done. He's got everything across the board all ready for what he wants, whatever his decision is. Okay? And especially RPOs and things, I'd love to tell you guys and say, look, hey, on this RPO right here, we're just reading the mic and then we're done. But as I said yesterday, it's so much more fluid, it's so much more of a conversation than it is read this one guy, go off this one guy. Okay, so I'll kind of explain here as I'm going. So for the run schemes in the box, you'll also see that it's not just one run scheme you can do 3, 4, 5 or so that we've kind of played with. Run scheme in the box combined with pass routes and screens from the receivers. Okay? So you'll see different run schemes and different things inside. So for example, right here, we've got inside zone called in the box. We've got a 3 wide receiver screen up top. And we've got speed out to the bottom. And the biggest thing, the most important thing here is, like I said, it's a conversation. So the conversation is, all right, so we're overloaded to the screen side, we don't like it. Okay? All right, so the next look, let's kind of think about the box. So we got good numbers in the box. All right? And the numbers in the box are okay. I need a great laser pointer, but I don't have one. Okay? This is top backer, that top stack backer on our left tackle. Okay? He can kind of say, well, that's that 6-man, I don't love it. But what the most important thing is he sees no area 1 defender, what we call. Okay, we don't mention it in some of the other questions and stuff, so when I say this today, we don't call it curl, flat, hook, or our terminology is areas. We say area 1, area 2, area 3. So they're all probably pretty similar. Okay? So we look out, we see area 1 is vacated with a backed off corner, and we know, okay, that's where we want to go. All right? So that will be the common theme of kind of the RPO stuff, is the conversation. You're looking for where your numbers are, you're looking for where your leverage is, and you're looking for what the best decision is. This is where your quarterback really becomes a great decision maker. He's got to be a great decision maker. It doesn't have to necessarily be, and this is what I was talking about too, about you take a little bit off his plate because it's not like he's got to walk up, see something, look, check this, check that, check this. It's already all there for him. Okay, so that process is already done. Okay? From this point on, all he needs to do is make the best decision for the offense. Okay? Now, a big question I always get a lot is, are you worried about the legal lineman downfield? Okay? And the answer is, gone. Yes and no. Right? Because, yes, I'm worried about it. I want it to happen, obviously. But it really, in all honesty, shouldn't be called. Okay? And some of that, maybe you're talking to the refs a little bit before the game and saying, hey, look, what you got to understand is we're doing some of this stuff because I've had times in games where, we're getting that fake, right? And we're firing a pass out. And as we throw that pass, the O-lineman's 1 yard downfield, which is completely legal. So then our receiver catches the ball, turns upfield, maybe makes 3, 4, 5 yards. And at this point, our offensive lineman is continuing to go down the field, right? Just like normal. And I've seen a ref on film, okay, sees the ball thrown, sees the pass, sees the tackle, plays over, he turns around, he looks, and the lineman's right next to him, and he thinks, oh crap, okay, then he throws the flag, okay? But in all reality, there was nothing illegal done on that play, okay? So maybe if you're having a real problem with it in your league, or it seems to just be happening to you over and over again throughout the season, it might be something you just want to address with the referees beforehand. Okay, typically refs will come up to your head coach or whoever's speaking to them before games and say, okay, is there anything I really need to know about? That might be one of those things. Okay? So we come back. And It's the same concept too, okay? It's the same play. But now, this time, quarterback sees pre-snap. All right, he sees that guy running down into the alley of area 1. Okay, so he sees area 1's probably taken away, right? So he knows that's something he's probably not going to want to do. Then on top of it, he sees that stack backer, right? The third stack backer over this tackle this time. He's got a feel for him. Maybe throughout the game, he's seen it a couple of times. So that guy's trying to jump. He's trying to close. Okay? So this time he closes, and then that right there is all you need. And then you've got your screen on the outside. Right? And then all you need, obviously, it helps to have some playmakers. So, and I'll just kind of show you some different ways to run the RPOs. All right, so that was 3 by 1, so now we're in 2-back. Okay? We're in 2-back now. Kind of changed up the scheme. We went from inside zone, now we're running ISO straight downhill. Okay? And then he knows now with the ISO a little bit, okay, well, let's, a 6-man box we can handle, a 7-man box we can't. Right? So with that 7-man box that we can't handle, there's got to be an answer for it. All right? And this time the answer is, well, we're not going to run a pass play off of it, or any passes, we're going to run that screen out there. Right? And then this Sam backer, for a lot of teams, that's that tweener player, that's that half man right there. That half man right there is going to try and out leverage your slot, and really he can be a real pain. Because he's either going to out leverage your slot and try and dive on anything you're doing in the box, and he's going to be that extra man you can't account for, right? If he's fast enough, he's good enough, and he reads pass, he can drop, get back into the pass game, and be involved in that as well. So really what you want to do is try and put him in an awkward situation of him trying to cover a couple different things. This right here, okay, it's just a matter of the quarterback walks up, he sees to the boundary, he sees it's pretty tight, okay? And especially if you see an off corner. If you see corners that are so far off, you can take all day as long as you got the right guys, you'll get that number 2 slot receiver, take most dangerous man, that's number 1, all right? He's going to take most dangerous man on what he's trying to do. And then that, if we can take care of the backer, and if we got corners that are 10, 12 yards off, okay, then we'll take that. We'll take that matchup all day. Okay? And this is such a like I said, I'll say it again. It's conversation with your quarterback. I don't think you necessarily. There's some of these RPOs and stuff where you do pretty solid reads. Read that guy, he does this, do that. Okay? But there's times where things are going to change and rotate and move. Okay? That there's just going to be more to the conversation. Okay? Now, on this one right here, so it's kind of the same concept. Corners off. We felt like we could get an outside backer taken care of with the slot. We wanted to involve our tackling in it a little more on this one. So this is just another option or wrinkle to what you can kind of do to get your tackle involved out in here. So if you watch our left tackle here, as we kind of said, okay, well, let's let the corner play one-on-one. Right here. And there's nothing wrong with getting the ball in one of your receiver's hands with some good space to work. Right? There's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay? I know as offensive guys, we do as much as we possibly can. We say it all the time, we want to have hat on hat. Okay? You've got to have hat on hat in the run game, in your screen game a lot. You want to have hat on hat. You never want to have just 3 guys running, right? That's obvious. But there are times, especially on the edge, where you can kind of go ahead and take some one-on-one matchups. Then obviously, okay, so it's kind of the same deal. all right? And that's, just getting an all-out blitz. Obviously, these are great things for blitzes too. If you're running something in the box and you got pullers, things like that going, and then you got a blitz coming, then boom, you can just throw those smokes out there, and you're going to be good to go. So, one thing here is, good. So one thing here now on this one is, so we're going to now a little bit more with the pass plays, right? So now we're going to do a little bit more passes with run plays called in the box. All right, and now, so we went from inside zone, okay, to kind of a fold scheme. This one also is pretty much a fold scheme within the inside. And our fold schemes will change depending on the defense we're seeing, like who we're folding and when we're folding, right? It won't always be one guy folding every time. It'll just depend on what defense we're going up against, what guy we want to fold off of, things of that nature, all right? So you can kind of play with who you're folding and how you're doing it, just depending on what you like, all right? So we're up here right now, and another question I got yesterday when I kind of touched on a little bit in the other room is what do you tell the O lineman, right? Don't tell the O lineman anything, okay? It's none of their business, okay? It's really none of their business what's going on. Their job is to block the run play that is called, period. And let me give you guys a warning right now, because it's going to happen. If you run this, and I'm sure some of you already do run this, you are going to get the snap, the receiver's going to throw the ball, and the O-line's going to think that that run play was wide ass open for a touchdown, right? And they're going to come back saying, why is he throwing the ball? And they're turning around and they think they've got the biggest gap ever, right, to run through. Okay? And that's true sometimes, right? But they just got to live with it. All right? That's just kind of part of the scheme, and it's the decision of the quarterback, and if that's the decision he makes, and that's what they're going to do. But another thing old linemen sometimes don't realize is he's taking the ball, he's throwing it, everybody on the defense can see that, and then they start running where the ball's thrown, but the O-line thinks it's wide open, when really it's not. They're just running where the ball's at that time, right? So those are just some kind of things to be aware of what's happening. So, here's another one. So we come out, it's pretty obvious right now with the quarterback, okay, I'm about to get pressure here, all right? So we're getting pressure coming, and then he's got to decide, okay, well, if I'm seeing this pressure, then I'm more than likely going to say that it's probably not going to be a give situation, okay? Especially when they're loading the box and everything. And really what you got now on the outside is you've got, one-on-one matchups. Then it just becomes, okay, as a quarterback, I've got to find my best matchup right here, and I've got to catch, bang, fire, okay? And there's no time for hesitation on this stuff, right? There's no time for him to catch, see it, look, think. Okay, he's got to make his best decision. Your receiver's got to do a great job of running, pressing, and sticking their foot in the ground and getting flipped and turned, okay? So he walks up, he sees it, and it's catch fire, and it's got to be fast. It's got to be right. Okay? Now, there are some instances and stuff, like where we would read off that, especially with receivers, we'd read if they come up and they're getting too physical or too tight or anything like that, we'd convert that as well, just go deep, go fades off of it. I have no problem going a deep fade along with this RPO stuff as well. Okay? We'll throw slants, hitches, fades, smokes. Okay? We'll throw whatever we need to throw, all right? So obviously it can't be a post big. You can't throw off this because there is a certain amount of time you can't allow your lineman to get downfield. Okay? All right, so now, walks out. They're kind of seeing it. They started to adjust a little bit. And this is pretty obvious to everybody in the room what you ought to be doing, right? You ought to be giving this thing. Okay? That Mike's walked out so far over, number 3, okay? And it's pretty wide open. I mean, he would have some good options here. He could give it. If he wanted to get to a slant from the single, we could do that. If we wanted to go fade from the single, he could do that. I mean, it's all about kind of just mixing it up as much as you can throughout the season, right? Don't just mix up the routes and the screens and everything you're doing from the receivers, but as much as you can, try to mix up the run game you're doing within the box of this stuff as well. Okay, so you get a lot of different run schemes going on this stuff. It doesn't have to just be one or two. And what you're going to get, okay, what you're going to get as well is, like for instance, all right, with that Mike, you see the Mike's reaction right here, right? So on that snap, he's immediately turning and running over number 3 because he feels like he knows what's coming, okay? Now there's a technique to this for the receivers as well that's pretty important. And you'll see it really come in handy for us a little later in another one of these clips. But when you're running patch routes as receivers, let's say we're running hitches to this game, and we stop and we turn for a hitch. If it's not there, you cannot allow your receivers just to stop. The movement they have to make from this point is they have to go from here to get a little depth and get turned and to get like this. Okay, to get leveraged out. So we don't let them just run a hitch and stop and then look. And another thing you can't do is run a hitch and then try to immediately block like this because the run play is going inside. So you got to try and get him leveraged out. So you'll see him hitch, and as much as we can, we try and get some depth and get around and get him locked out. Our receiver at the bottom of the screen here gives you a pretty good example of that right there. That's the technique you want to have. And you also see it from our number 2 receiver up top to the trip side. He'll hitch. It's not there. He's going to turn around and get inside and try and get that leverage down. So here it goes back to the conversation. So the wheel is standing straight over the ball. Okay? So now the wheel is right, square over the ball. So now what that means is also with that high safety of about 12, now there's a big void from the wheel to the corner to the safety. All right? Hitch probably isn't great here versus that cover 2, cover 4. Okay? Cover 2, cover 4. So his decision now is, okay, I've got to take advantage of the biggest space that there is on the field. All right? So now his decision is, all right, well, let's take that to the single receiver side because that's my best leverage. Okay, let's land in it. Okay? So here, same deal. Okay? 3 by 1. Same concept. Now what he fills in is he's going to key in this time on the mic. Okay? He's going to key in this time on the mic. He doesn't like the single. We've got an overhang player there that's taking that away. Okay? He's going to key in on the mic because he's got good spacing and good leverage between number 2 and number 3. All right? And now that mic on this play, and in this instance, the mic will tell him where to go. And here's also an example of another wrinkle to it, is that on the 3 receiver side, we don't have all 3 patch routes, and we don't have all 3 in the screen. We have number 3 in a patch route, and number 2 and number 1 are running the screen. Okay? So that's kind of another instance of what you can do to kind of change that up. So on this one right here, we've just got a normal stretch in. He sees what he likes, he just takes it, and he just fires it out there. So we'll do another one. This is just, you get this from the Green Bay Packers. It's speed out for the most inside guy, number 1 and number 2 blocking. Okay, speed out for number 3, number 1 and number 2 are blocking. Okay, and then so that's another form of something you can do with the receivers. Okay, so this is kind of a screen pass route kind of built in, right? And then so we're not folding anymore. We're not inside zone. We're just kind of going man here right now from the inside. Okay, and then it's a quarterback's decision. What am I going to do with the football? Okay, doesn't like it because it's 3-on-3 on the outside, but he knows I got good numbers in the box. Okay, he knows it's a 5-on-5 game at this point. Okay. So it's your job, 2 things. Number 1, to make sure everything's set up for your quarterback on these RPOs. Everything across the board set up. It's clear who's doing what. It's clear the O-line's getting in the run game, doing the run scheme. It's clear the receivers, what they're doing on their screens, their pass routes, or anything like that. It's all there for your quarterback. And the next step is be sure you're having a conversation with your quarterback about what he's seeing, why he's making this decision, why he chose this guy. So like in practice, even if he catches it, he decides to pull and throw somewhere, throw a screen or throw a pass route, even if it was the 100% correct decision, I will ask him, why did you do that? Okay? Tell me why. Okay? Because I don't want it to be just he had a real good guess on that time. I want him to give me very specific, detailed reasons why this was the decision that he made, even though it was good. Obviously I'll ask him why, when it was the wrong decision, why did he choose that, and I'll explain to him why the next one is better. But even on a good decision, I'll ask him to tell me why you did that. Okay? Just so you need as much feedback from him as you can, so you know what he's seeing and what he's keen and what he's looking at. Okay? So, our draw stuff, is kind of a little bit the opposite. And we're looking to throw the ball, right, on draws. Okay, we're going to look to throw it. We're going to try and throw pass routes, and if it's not there, our second option is we're going to drop it down. Okay? So even on a draw, I want to make sure we have options. As much as I can, I want to try and make sure we have options, that we have an out. Okay? Helps you as a play caller too. You're not always trying to just get the exact perfect play call, right? So if I'm calling this, I've got an out. Look, hey, let's throw the football right here. Doesn't matter what we're throwing, pitches, stick, whatever, screens. Okay? I'm telling you, hey, let's look to throw the ball right now. And if it's not there, okay, it's not there, then boom, then I'm going to drop it down. Okay? So right here, it's pretty much the same concept. He's looking, okay? He sees best leverage.
Is this a cold draw?
Yep.
The running back doesn't look like he's trying to get the ball.
Yeah, he made a mistake. That's good. You saw that correctly. On these next ones, he won't. Okay? So now, once again, this is the same play call. Okay? And it's a feeling from your quarterback, too, because he's got so much to look at. If he starts to feel, okay, guys are really starting to drop on me. Even on pass plays, he's starting to feel, okay, guys are really starting to get out. They're starting to drop. They're starting to drop. Okay? Now he can take it. He's already got a pretty good idea. He's still going to give a look at what he wants to look at, what he feels like the best option to read is. He's going to look at that, and if he doesn't like it, he thinks, nope, okay, I don't got that. There's nothing wrong with just turning and dropping the ball down. Okay? Now on draw as well, you can do it a couple of different ways in the box. You can have kind of a pass set in the fold. You can kind of have a pass set and have a guard try and overtake a one-tech, right? And then move your center up. Okay? It just depends on who you're going against, what you feel the strength of that D-line is, right? It's just, that's kind of a preference on how you want to do it inside the box with the scheme, See, that's a good look right there from that number 3 receiver, from what I was talking about with that technique, okay? You've got to make sure that when they come and they hitch, that they don't just try and turn and start pushing, that they turn, they hitch, and they really kind of get back around, and get going. Okay, I'm not sure about the times because. Same deal on this draw here. He walks up. You see it, that's pretty clear. You see a 5-man box. Okay? You know, given the football is going to be your best option right there at that point. You know, there's a lot of good stuff on this concept. You go to, YouTube or anything like that. A lot of colleges run this thing, okay, on the draw, stick draw concept. Like I said, it could be hitches, could be stick concept out from the trips, whatever you want to have from your receivers, okay. So, like, here's probably one of the best examples, right, of the receivers really doing a good job of helping once they run their hitch in getting back inside, right? So to me, this is one of the best parts of the play, okay? Quarterback makes a good read, he sees it, but to me, the thing that turns this in from a 7 to an 8-yard gain to the big break that it was is watch the reaction of the number 3 and the number 2 wide receivers up top of what they're doing. They hitch, they see it's not there, they immediately have the same reaction, and they're turning and dipping and sprinting back inside to get bodies on the defenders. Okay, if they just would have turned, if they just would have hitched, and then immediately turned and started trying to push it or something like that, they would not have been able to get the leverage back inside to try and dig these guys out and try and get the bodies on them. Okay? And then you see really 1, 2, and 3, they all do a pretty good job. Right? So that's one of the biggest things to that. So these next couple, just a few screens here, okay? Last thing I'll kind of really quickly touch on because I'm sure how much time I got left. But, blocking technique, I'll just talk about it real quick with the receivers. We go through a blocking progression, okay? We do this either once a week or once every 2 weeks because we're Wednesday, Fridays, right? So, we don't have too much time to do it every single day, but as much as we can, we try and go through a blocking progression with our guys, okay? And that is so important for us as the receivers. We all know we're blocking from the wide receiver is extremely important. I'll just take y'all through the progression. Okay, and the progression is this. So we'll stand, receivers, one guy here, one guy here. All right, and we're standing, and I'll just say, go. All right, so they'll step and hit. All right, and they're not supposed to move. They don't move, right? Set, ready, go. Boom. Step and hit. Right. Perfect. So I think I'm getting kicked off here. That's okay. All right, so real quick, I'll speed through this real quick. Okay, so it's step and hit, right? Step and hit, no freeze on that. Then after that, right, I'll say set, ready, go. Second progression is I'll step, hit, they'll freeze. I'll make sure they're frozen. I'll make sure their hands are correct. I'll make sure they're nice and low. Okay, make sure they got good leverage, that they're not too overextended. Okay, right here. And then on the second go, they'll go from here, and then they'll just pop their feet. Okay, and they'll pop their feet for about 2 or 3 yards. So it's the second part of the progression, right? Okay, I always want to make sure that our receivers are not here and not trying to run with this guy. They need to have a good base, and they need to be popping their feet right there inside. Okay, so that's part of the progression. Okay, is I'll back them off, right? And then we'll back off about 5 yards, 7 yards. I'll say set, ready, go, and I'll make sure they're sprinting, breaking down about 2 yards from the defender. And then once they get 2 yards from the defender, it's pop, 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 right? So getting a good balance. and then bang, they'll hit, they'll connect, and then they'll carry out the last part of that drill, right? So they'll close the distance, be sure they're breaking down early enough. That's probably one of the biggest coaching points for me as receivers, is that when you're going, you're breaking down early enough. Because so many times receivers will run, here's the defender, and I'm stopping right here, and this guy's turning away. All right, thank you very much.